morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning, and me and my two boys are on our way to church. My wife and my youngest son are actually at home still getting ready. They usually meet us up at second service. But hey, I just wanted to touch base with you guys and talk about how our families impact our financial decision making every day, and what should change in their decision making as we come into our families from being single or simply married without children. First, I want to acknowledge that there are plenty of parents out there being intentional, that are being very intentional with their finances and how they handle them. But I want to speak also to those out there that are maybe struggling. They have the best of intentions, but they're simply having a hard time making decisions appropriate for their family. First of all, I want to say that, look, what's happened in the past. We got to let it go. Boy, I sound like a Frozen theme song, don't I? But anyways, let what's in the rearview mirror stay there. We're looking forward, okay? And I think the biggest problem we have in making financial decisions as parents and as husbands and wives, for that matter, is that when we're single, we don't assess risk very well. And I think the reason that is because when we're single, we acknowledge that we're the only one that will suffer the consequences of bad decisions. So risk, as long as we as individuals are willing to accept the consequences, then the risk is worth it. So we have a really hard time of assessing the risk properly. But when we get married and we have children, well, now there's 1, 2, 3, or even 4, in my case, other people that now have to pay the consequences of the decisions that I've made, if there are any. And so we have a really hard time of assessing risk as parents and as husband and wives. I was guilty of this, and it took me a couple of years really to get on board with the reality that I wasn't the only one that was on the other end of my decisions. And so, just so we can all understand on a broader scale the problem here, our country is a great reflection of this problem. We're experiencing currently a plus $19 trillion debt on our country. I have a hard time believing there was any real assessment of risk, because 19 trillion didn't happen overnight. But we continue not to properly assess the risk involved, and continuing to go into deeper and deeper debt. And now we sit here today, and as a country, our credit rating is shot. Now, I'm not going to go deep into political finances. That's not what I'm here to do. But I just want to make the point that on even a larger scale, you can see the problem. It's very evident, and it rings true in our personal lives as well. And again, I'm no exception to this. I've been down that road. It wasn't fun. I made a lot of really bad decisions for me and my family. I'm just glad to be on the other side now. Finally, I'm through the storm, and now I can see much more clearly. But as they say, hindsight's 20/20. So I'm just trying to give you a little bit of sound advice in regards to decision making. Assess the risk. Properly assess risk in every decision you make. It's more than just a reward on the other side. There is risk involved. There is risk in every decision we make. But what we need to do is we need to start minimizing risk. And now, I'm not saying the risk is bad. I mean, anything I'm going to tell you as far as investing is going to imply a little bit of risk. It comes with the territory. But we have to manage risk. We have to decide, is it worth it? Is the risk worth the possible reward? Simple concept, but yet oftentimes we do not assess risk very. We take on way too much risk. Debt in our lives is a huge example of this risk. People do not assess the risk that comes with debt, especially when it comes with our homes. Now, I'm not going to beat anybody up about having a mortgage, and I have a mortgage. But taking second mortgages out on our homes HELOCs, and any other debts that you have against your home. That's your home. If we're going to put debt anywhere, why would we put it on our home? It kind of confuses me. I mean, there are credit cards. I would rather have a credit card than put a loan against your home. I'm not worried about an interest rate. I'm worried about you losing your home. And people want to say, I'm not going to lose my home. I can pay my mortgage. Well, yeah, of course you can now. Now you're employed. Now you don't have, a once in a lifetime medical bill come up that blows your budget out of proportion. What happens to the person that loses their job, has a huge financial crisis come that costs them dearly? Now all of a sudden you're stuck with, just throwing numbers out there, a $20,000 medical bill. You have no job, and you have a $1,200 mortgage on top of a $800 a month HELOC or a second mortgage. Now what? So now you have the possibility of losing your home instead of defaulting on a credit card. So risk assessment is huge, and I just throw that out as a single example. You have to manage risk. Risk is a huge part. It's not just about an interest rate. Yes, you're going to get a lower interest rate on a second mortgage, but yes, you will also lose it if you don't pay it. The home, that is. So guys, just properly assess our risk, make good decisions based on a risk versus reward assessment. Assess risk, assess risk, assess risk. That is the moral of the story today. Our families need us, and we've got to do a better job of assessing risk in our financial decisions. So I hope that's helped somebody this morning. I hope everybody has a great Sunday, and God bless. Take care.